There is a brilliant study which was done by Deloitte University a few years ago now, I think 2013, that talked about, and they named something called covering, which is how people downplay their natural way of being in a work context in order to try and fit in with what is perceived as the mainstream work culture and in order to progress. And based on this study, 61% of people cover. So 61% of people are playing down who they are naturally to try and progress at work and fit in. So trying to create cultures where we celebrate difference or perceived difference rather than people trying to suppress and hide difference is what any organisation should do. And that means that your management team have to come from all walks of life. It's, I don't want to sound like Forrest Gump, but it's literally like a box of chocolates. You've got to have different flavours for different people to see in your organisation, running the organisation, to know that it's all right to be a little bit different. It's all right to have these views. It's all right not to have been brought up in a certain background. That's okay, I can still progress. So that's about celebrating difference, promoting difference, and recognising that everybody's got different superhero powers, and it's about those superhero powers coming together as one team. Check your circle. So that management team in an organisation where the management team aren't that diverse at the moment, look at your top 4 people that you would go to when there is a crisis at your organisation. Look at the top 4 people that you go to when something brilliant has happened in your organisation. Who are the 4 people that you would go to when you want a piece of advice, when you want a sounding board? If those 4 people have exactly the same sort of background as you, have sort of been brought up in the same way as you, look like you, we're not going to be doing enough for our employees and our teams coming through, because that is creating that idea that people can't bring themselves to work. You've got to get comfortable talking about race. It's as simple as that. You've got to get comfortable. And there was a statistic from Business in the Community and their Race at Work survey that only 38% of people believe that their employers are comfortable talking about race. And that's awful. If only 38% of people believe that their organisation will talk about race, you've got to make it part of the everyday vernacular. So you do that by making it an agenda point on every single meeting that you do. There has to be a conversation at every single meeting, whether that's at the board level, at the more junior levels, whatever those decision-making boards are. This has to be an agenda item where you talk about where are we when it comes to diversifying our business, where are we when it comes to the number of ethnic minority employees that we have in the organisation. And that looks at and spans all diversity, to be fair, not just race. You have to make an agenda point. And it's an agenda point because that's about growth. It's about future growth. It is the right thing to do for society, but it's also about future-proofing your organisation.